Shalom, back again with another lesson. Before I begin this lesson, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I give double honors to my elders and apostles who rule well, where I've learned this true. I want to say peace and salutations to you, Akim, you brothers out there laboring, pushing this word out in all truth and sincerity. I want to say shalom to you Israelite sisters, and also to you Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You may look like the other nations, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is the chosen seed line. Shalom. So I wanted to do this lesson today, as watchmen, as every day passes, anytime you notice or spot something that, talks to your spirit, we bring it out in the scriptures and we just tell you, these are the times that we're in. The prophecies are getting closer and closer. We're getting close to the digital system being fully implemented and forced upon the earth. This is just another example. I'm going to show you a clip that I see on social media of a clip that I see regarding like the digital system. Now, this isn't going to be a long lesson. I'm just going to make it brief. But this is something I come across and I looked into it, and apparently it's a system that they're getting ready to implement in all the BP garages and all the petrol stations across the UK. They do it in other countries, but they're slowly starting to bring it into effect, right? Which eventually will lead into the mark of the beast, right? Now, I'm going to pull up this clip, right? Before I play the clip, I'm going to read the scripture. But this is the clip that I'm referring to here on TikTok. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now, some people will say, oh, this is a interesting system that they're implementing. Stops all the theft and all this other stuff. But ultimately, it's going to lead into that. Have you got the mark of the beast? Where, well, we'll get into it. I'll bring out some scriptures, like the scripture in Revelation 13 chapter. But we'll get into it. And like I say, this isn't going to be a long lesson, just a brief, quick hit. But yeah, I'm going to play the clip, so check this out.
Check this out.
Any car that comes into Bletchley, BP Spa, this one here, check this people, check this.
Now, you see on that screenshot there, I'll just pause it quickly. Right, so this is an app that they have now, or that they're implementing. And basically, anytime a car pulls into refuel, get petrol, whatever the case may be, the ANPR, which is the automatic license plate recognition, or the automatic number plate recognition, ANPR, that basically brings up your information. So they have all the details on the app. It shows up as soon as you pull up, so you ain't even gotta stop. You ain't gotta, because some people, when they go to fill up, they basically can do theft. So basically fill up their car and just drive off without paying for it. So before they've even started refueling, the clerk has already got their details, right? And what these details show is it shows your tax, to see if your car is taxed. It will show if your car is MOT'd, if it's expired. It will show, if you've got any sort of history of being, caught stealing, or like being recognized before stealing fuel. You'll be put on a blacklist, and they'll be able to tell right from the jump as you're pulling into the petrol station to refuel. Right, this is a system that they have. Now, when I play the rest of the video, the guy tries to explain it, but because his English isn't great, you can hardly make out what he's saying. But you get the idea, just to give you a little brief summary of what they're talking about here.
That's your... And what's that? Huh? What's that? Yeah, let me just take a picture. And what's that? What is that? Any car that comes in here?
Any car.
any car that comes in, it recognises that.
Yeah, come in everything there.
Yeah, well, you just press your button.
Yeah, no road tax, no insurance. Come in red. There's no come green.
Oh wow, and that's what's coming in, and that there is what's coming to all garages.
Not currency.
All
All
garages.
BP.
All BP garages.
Now sell also every garage now do it now.
Oh wow.
You, example, you 20 pounds you drive up, and then you paid 80 pounds, 14 days.
Oh,
You
wow.
don't pay 80 pounds, and then you got points and maybe 2-3 times you got license also.
Yeah, so basically what he's saying is that if you pay for fuel, or you don't pay for fuel, you'll get basically fined for it, and you have 14 days to pay it. Another thing is you'll get points on your license, which obviously you rack up too many points on your license, you lose your license, and you'll have to go through the whole, getting your license again. So going through the practical test, the theory test, doing the driving bit, you have to do it all over again. Now, a lot of people are complaining about the driving test nowadays because obviously there's a like months and months and months waiting list just to go through the practical, because what you'll find is you have people that book all the time, book all the slots, and then they sell them to people. It's like a business, and there was a big news article, news story about that people have to wait months and months before they can even get their license, right? So imagine you've had your license, you get pinged by the ANPR system, get fined or whatever, and you create that offense, you go on the blacklist, right, that they have, the ANPR systems has, and yeah, potentially you could lose your license. They're affecting the way of transport. Now, how the mark of the beast, how that system could be implemented in that is, hey, you, instead of you receiving that fine, they can just take it right out of your account, because again, you're on the the beast system. So that means they can just take it straight out of your bank account. So you ain't gonna be trying to skip payment, because they can just take it, programmable money, right? How it can also affect you in your life if you was to receive that mark of the beast is they could quite literally switch you off. All right, your driving privileges are banned. Now you can't travel. They'll affect your travel. That all comes into play. So all these systems, are slowly leading to that beast system, that total control that the elites are aiming for, right? So I'm going to keep playing a few more of these, play the rest of this clip, and then I'm going to read a couple scriptures, and we got to end it there, because like I say, I didn't want to make it a long lesson. But yeah, check it out.
So you start the theory, the practical test.
Oh wow. You love it though, didn't you? I bet you.
I'm no headache now.
I bet you press the button all the time, didn't you? Yeah, love it.
I pressed last week one guy.
Yeah.
This car fill up petrol, before police come in, normal car, not come in police car.
Yeah.
Normal car come in.
Yeah.
Normal car sometimes stay there outside.
Yeah.
Press button, come and stay there.
Yeah.
Up, go.
Yeah.
Take the car. After you pay car, the car take the, come in the EMC, come and take the 285 pounds. After the waiting charge, 280 pounds.
Yeah.
Already, more than 1,000 pounds you spent.
Yeah, see, it's hard to understand the guy, because obviously his English is not great. But again, he's saying if the car drives off, just let him go. Like, it don't matter, because we've got you. As soon as you pull up, we've got you. He's like, you can drive off, and yeah, that fine's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And in the beast system, they just take it straight out of your account. Ain't even gotta send you letters. Mr. Smith, we caught you in a theft, and you have 14 days to pay this fine. And how some people duck them letters, like, oh, they get no letter. It don't matter. They'll just take it. They'll just debit straight out of your account. Boom, done. That's where it's going, right? I think that's all there is on this. He's, but they're getting ready to implement this through all of the petrol stations in the UK. Well, it'll be the same throughout the world, man, because the petrol stations, I think in 2022, 23, 24, they've lost so much money from people, driving off without paying for their fuel. Now, obviously, they're going to crack down on it. Esau wants his money. He's going to squeeze every grape. You know what I mean? He's going to squeeze the juice out of every grape. You know, he ain't, you know, there's that scripture that escapes my mind, you know, that along the lines of Esau, you know, wouldn't even leave a single grape, you know, and that's what he's doing. He's you know, closing that rope, you know, hanging that noose around people's necks and making it tight. You know what I mean? Like that's where he is at the moment. But I think that's the rest of the clip anyway.
Oh,
Let me just see.
Mad. Mad. All right, man, you take care.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's the end of the clip. There's not much in there. Right.
Oh, everyone, all please happy now. All right, bless,
Yeah.
bless.
So basically he's saying all the petrol stations are getting them.
Check
you know?
this out.
The ANPR system, you know, so they're all getting it. Now, we're going to go straight to the scriptures. And what does it say? In the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name," right? So, hey, you know, you've been caught stealing fuel before. You've been convicted of stealing fuel. Now you ain't gonna be able to buy fuel anymore. You ain't gonna be able to buy a ticket to travel. You know, maybe that'll be the restriction they put on you. You know, who knows? But there we go. You know, it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Right? It says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, 666." You know, that digital system, I'm telling you, is every day that goes by, it's just getting closer and closer. And you come across little clips like this, which, you know, which give you the idea that this is closer than we believe. Man, it's at the door. We're here. We're here now, right? And why is Esau doing this? Why are the elites doing this, right? We're going to jump back to Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them." It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So we understand that Esau knows that his time is short, so he's trying to speed it up. He's trying to speed up this digital system, this beast system, you know, the mark of the beast. He's trying to speed this whole thing up. And you see with this technology that he's introducing, yep, I mean, it's evident. If you can't see it, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's here. It's here. This beast system is here. They're going to start incorporating everything into everything. You know, payment systems, you know, your social status, all of that's going to be tied in. You know, if you're out here, you know, being a damn demon, you know, being, you know, antisocial, yep, this is one of them. Marcus Chip, you know, cut him off from society. You know, you're gonna be homeless when them cold winter nights start coming, and you outside because you can't rent anywhere because obviously you're blacklisted. You know, a lot of people gonna fold, man. A lot of people gonna fold. You know, and what does the scripture say? Let me get that quickly. What does the scripture say? And I know I bring these scriptures out a lot, the same scriptures, but it's just the time that we're in. You know, and when you see these things, you know, it's the first thing that pops to your mind. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. It says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand," right? So again, you know, it's touching on the mark of the beast. If you accept it, right? If you accept the Esau's system or the elite system, you know, you accept it, this is what's going to happen to you, right? Verse 10 says, "The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone." That'll be them nuclear missiles, right? Fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You're going to get cooked, right? So again, you know, when these clips come out, we report on them. We tell you, like, you know, this is in the scriptures, man. This system is in the scriptures, and we're seeing it in real time. So, you know, again, we warn you, or we give you these warnings. We play these clips. We bring out these scriptures, and we tell you, look, the Lord is not playing. The Lord is here to judge this place, right? So it's only right that you get right while you still have the opportunity. Don't accept the chip. Don't take the chip. You know, the Lord's going to look after you, right? If you're part of the elect, the Lord's going to deliver you out of that, right? So don't fold. You know, stay strong in the Lord and keep praying. Keep prayed up, man. Cast your burdens on the Lord, man. If you're going through hard times, have faith in the Lord. That's where it comes in. We got to have faith, right? So I pray that this short lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I'm going to leave it there. And Lord willing, I'll be back to do another lesson. Before I leave, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kodash. And it's on to the next one. Lord willing, Shalom.